Hello, everybody. This is a pocket Bible handbook by a man called Halley. Yeah. And there are all these maps. It's like Machine Monkey was talking about. Now I had this marked what I'm about to read. I was going through the appendix because I said that when I get my new glasses, I still have to wear the reading glasses above because the lettering's so dang small. There's a general view of the Bible, heart thoughts of the Bible, amazing archaeological discoveries, notes on each of the Bible books, miscellaneous Bible information, notes on obscure passages, related historical data, and epitome of church history, suggestions of Bible reading, suggestions of church going. And the most important page in this book is in 724. But this, this book was done by Henry H. Halley, 5774, Chicago 90, Illinois. Let's see, man. I know it does because I've seen it. Okay, the copyright 1927, 1928, 1929, 1931, 1932, 1933, 1934, 1936, 1938, 1939, 1941, 1943, 1944, 1946, 1948 by Henry H. Halley. 19th edition, revised copyright 1951 by Henry H. Halley. But we will get into this that I opened up. There, that I opened up is amazing. Revelations 15. This is page, I don't know why it's chapter 13, the two beasts. The first beast, 1 to 10, this beast is the form which the dragon assumed to continue his war against the woman. That's 12:17. He had the composite appearance of a leopard, a bear, and a lion. The first three of Daniel's four beasts, Daniel 7, 3 to 6, and seems himself to be identical with the fourth, retaining in some measure the characteristics of this predecessors. Like the dragon whose tool he was he had 7 heads and 10 horns. See chapter 17. One of the heads had been smitten with a death stroke, but the death stroke had been healed. He continued as a world power. 42 months blasphemed the name of God and made war on the saints. To the preterist interpreter, this beast is the Roman Empire. The healing of the death stroke is thought to refer to the popular belief that Nero would return to life, or that his spirit had returned in the person of Domitian. The blasphemies refer to the claims of the Roman emperors to deity in requiring emperor worship, particularly to Domitian, who called himself Lord and God. The war on the saints was the persecution by Nero and Domitian. 42 months meant a temporary period. To the futurist interpreter, the beast is the Antichrist himself. In his 10 kingdoms, federated empire, the last form of Gentile dominion in the tribulation period, just before the Lord comes. His blasphemies and his brutal war on the saints will make it a time of trouble, the like of which the world has never before known. The 42 months is taken to be a literal 3.5 years. To the historical interpreter, the beast represents the concentration and personification of world power through the whole period of history, continuing as one entity, but manifesting itself under various forms in various ages, with many and diverse modifications. The 7 heads are the 7 great powers which have dominated history. Egypt as Syria, Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, and Papal Rome. The healing of the Deathstroke refers to the rise of the papal Rome out of the ruins of pagan Rome and its domination of the world on a vaster extent and for a longer time and with a more despotic hand than any of its um, predecessors. The blasphemies refer to the claims of the popes to infallibility, authority to forgive sins, great indulgences, etc. The war on the saints is taken to refer to the papal persecutions of the Middle Middle Ages and early Reformation era, in which some historians have estimated over 50 million martyrs perished at the hands of the papal Rome, and which constituted one of the cruelest and most brutal chapters in the history of mankind. The 42 months, 260 days is taken to mean 1260 years, the approximate duration of the papacy as a world power, 6th to 18th centuries. The second beast, 11 to 18. This beast looked like a lamb. The first beast looked like a leopard, but they were allies. The leopard beast had been killed. It was the lamb beast that brought him to life again. The lamb beast is afterward called the false prophet. 1613, 1920, 2010. That is the pretender lamb. Doesn't sound right. Pretender lamb. It seems to be generally agreed that the leopard beast represents secular power and the lamb beast represents religious power. To the preterist interpreter, the lamb beast is the priestly system of the Roman Empire, organized to enforce emperor worship, or as some think, the provincial government of Asia, which was a peaceful country, and to which the imperial government had delegated authority to enforce emperor worship. So great a scholar as Sir William Ramsay held to the later opinion. To the futurist, interpreter, the lamb beast is the ecclesiastical head of the world's last empire, of which the political head will be the leopard beast, the Antichrist himself. To the historical interpreter, the lamb beast is the apostate church, which, after the Roman Empire fell, healed Rome's death blow and brought the city to life again as the head of the pagan Christian power, which continued to dominate world governments for some 12 or 13 centuries. This combined power of leopard beast and lamb beast, union of state and church, was called Babylon, whose nature is more fully explained in chapter 17. The number 666. Identification of the lamb beast. It is the name of a man, or possibly a set of men, or an institution headed by a man, or set a man, a name, the letters of which were regarded as numerals, total 666. In Hebrew, the numerical value of the letters of Neron Caesar, when added, make 666. Nero Caesar 616, marginal reading. Nero was indeed a beast, but it is a farcical to call him a lamb-like beast. In Greek, the book was written in Greek. The letters of Latinos total 666. L 30, A 1, T 300, E 5, I 0 or 10, N 50, 070s or 70, S 200, Latinos means the Latin kingdom. It was so understood by Tremesos, who was a pupil of Polycarp, who was a pupil of John, and Bishop of Smyrna. At the time the book was written, Latin was the language of Rome. Papal Rome made Latin its original language, and it still is. Among all nations of all languages, its prayers, canons, missals, breviaries, decrees, bulls, worships, blessings, and cursings are Latin. Some understood the number This way, 6 is man's number, just short of 7, which is God's number. 666 is a triple concentration of 6. The square of 6 is 36. 1, 2, 3, etc. Up to 36, when added together, equals 666. The significance seems to be that the beast, powerful as he is, and no matter how powerful he may become, he is still not as powerful as God. Amen to that. Okay, chapter 14, the Lamb and his followers. The 144,000, 1 to 5, the Lamb and his faithful followers are set over against the beast and his followers of the preceding chapter. They are marked with his name. They are free from falsehood, in contrast to the lying woman of the beast. Oh, lying wonders of the beast. See, it's hard to me. They are virgins, in contrast to the harlotry of the beast. We are not to understand that they were literal celibates. For the New Testament, where regards the marriage state as sinful, but on the contrary exalts it as a symbol of the relation between Christ and his bride. They were faithful to Christ as against the adultery of Babylon, the apostate church. The new song, breaking on the ear like the ocean's roar, was one that only the redeemed could know. As unsaved person cannot know the joys of the redeemed, and the redeemed themselves, when they reach heaven, will experience rapture exquisite beyond anything they could imagine. In heaven, everybody will sing and sing and sing. Who were the 144,000? The language and setting seem to imply that they were the Lamb's true church, in contrast to the false church of the pretender lamb. The faithful wife is in the wilderness, while the unfaithful wife was reveling in her adultery with the world. They are the first fruits in contrast to the general harvest. Probably the same as the 144,000 of whatever the saved of Israel, in contrast to those of all nations, or the first generation of Christians, or to those of all nations. I already read that part. The whole number of the redeemed, or the translated church. The angel with the everlasting gospel. 144,000 were the first fruits. Here, the picture symbolizes the general evangelization of the whole world, the Lamb's weapon leading the army against the beast is the preaching of the simple gospel. The exact application of the picture to some is the carrying of the gospel to the Gentiles after it had been preached to Israel. To others, it typifies the era of modern worldwide missions preceding the fall of Babylon, which is announced in the next verse. To others, it is an announcement that the millennial reign is at hand. Fall of Babylon. This is the first mention of Babylon in the book. The first thing mentioned is the fall, which is again mentioned in 1619. The fall of Babylon mentioned twice before there is any hint that there is a Babylon. In chapter 17 and 18, it is fully described. It was such a horrible thing that the writer wanted to assure his readers that it would have only a temporary existence before he undertook to tell them about it. Babylon was the name given to the working alliance of the revived beast and the pretender lamb of the 13th chapter. All right, let's get some more heavy. The doom of the beast worshippers. The book of Revelations recognizes only two classes of people: those who belong to God, and those who belong to the beast. Here the unhappy lot of those who have the mark of the beast is in sad contrast to the unspeakable joy of those who have joy described in chapters 19 and 20. The contrasting of the fate of the redeemed and the lost, which is so noticeable in this book, was also a characteristic of Jesus's teaching in the Gospels. I'll leave that with you. That was Revelations 16. But if you want me to read something that you might be interested in, let me know and look it up. This book, my ex-husband found this at a yard sale. But it has maps and it has all this stuff in it. It has what the numbers mean, different things like that, because Jesus used a lot of numbers in a lot of things he did. But if you want me to read something that you would like to hear about, just let me know in the comments and I'll look it up. But maybe I'll just start reading this one. But the way the world's getting in these days, already starting again to hate the racism and stuff like that starting up again. This time the crowd's larger. They're just young kids, but they're being taught wrong. And, I don't want to be around if they become leaders, if they still have that mindset. It wouldn't look good. But that's because they're being taught wrong, And you have to be taught to hate. Hate just doesn't come to you. A person has to teach it. You have to learn behavior. I don't care what anybody says, it's learned. Just like homosexuality and stuff like that, that's learned behavior. You're not born with it, it's learned. So anyway, with that, and like I say, it just surprised me that Machine Monkey was on there doing that. And I had already marked that because I was going to read it. And because I'm getting tired of the world the way it is. But anyway, as I say, God bless. Peace be with you. And be safe. And come to Jesus before it's too late. And you need to feel safe. You need to be safe, and the only way you can feel that way is with Jesus Christ. And I say, God bless you all. My love goes out to the people out there, regardless of whether you like me or not. I'm here. That's the way it is. But anyway, God bless and stay safe. And we love you out here. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself.